Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Morrowind Book Club. Today, we're going to be reading Withershins by Yakut Tawashi. We just got the book as part of the Thieves Guild quest that has brought us to Margan. So let's go ahead and get started. I said right before, I started reading this, that it sounds like a disease of some sort. So let's see. All right, said Kazaga. Gah. There we go. Why don't you want to talk? Zaki put down his mug of mead and just stared at his wife for a few seconds. Finally, grudgingly, because everything I have a conversation, darling, it flows in alphabetical order. What? Because everything I have a conversation, darling, it flows in alphabetical order. Just like I told you. I think the only way to stop it is not to talk at all. Couldn't you just be imagining this? Said Kazaga patiently. It wouldn't be the first time you had an insane paranoid delusion. Remember when you thought the royal battle mage of Blackmarsh was hiding behind every tree with a rape kit intent on making you, a middle-aged, fat, balding tailor, into his personal sex slave? Okay. You don't need to be ashamed. But it's Shigarath's way to make us all a little crazy sometimes. If you go to the healer, damn it, Kazaga! Gah! Man, I keep getting a K sound on that. Snarled Zaki and stomped out, slamming the door behind him. He nearly collided with Siasat, his neighbor. Excuse me. I don't know how to, I don't know if he's supposed to be saying it, like in a mean way, or if he's just saying, excuse me. All right, excuse me, she said to Zaki's back. He clamped his hands over his ears as he stormed down the street, turning the corner to his tailor shop. His first customer was waiting out front, smiling widely. Yes. Zaki tried to keep his temper under control and took out his keys, returning the customer's smile. Fine day, said the young man. Gods! Hollered Zaki, sending the young man flying with a well-placed punch and dashing away. What? Okay, I'm liking this book. As much as he hated to admit that Kazaga was right, it was evidently time once again for one of the healer's herbal cocktails. Tarsu's temple to health, mental, and physical was several streets north, an impressive obelisk. Halka, the chief herbalist, met him before he came in the hall. How are you today, Sazaki Saf? I need to make an appointment with Tarsu, said Zaki in his calmest voice. Just one moment. Let me see how his schedule looks, Halka said, looking over a scroll. Is this an emergency? Kind of, said Zaki, and slapped his head. Why couldn't he say yes, or absolutely, or sure? Let's see, said Halka, frowning. The best I can do is next Midas. Would that work for you? Midas? Cried Zaki. I'll be a complete psychotic by Midas. Isn't there anything earlier? Midas. Is that... I need to look at we'll say their days of the week. Like, I'm not sure what Midas refers to. Oh, okay. I had to look it up so that we know what we're talking about here. So Morndus is Monday. Turdus is Tuesday. Midas is Wednesday. Turdus. So there's Turdus. Yeah, okay, sorry. Morndus, Monday. Turdus, it's a T-I-R, it's Tuesday. Midas, Wednesday. Turdus, with a U, is Thursday. Fredus is Friday. Loradus is Saturday. And Sundus is, you guessed it, Sunday. All right, so we're basically saying until Wednesday. So I guess we'll have to assume that, was there a date some point in here? I think no, they didn't give us a date. I'm going to assume that maybe it's like Monday or something. Anyways, he knew what the answer would be before she said it. There was no alternative. In a way, he had forced the response. If only he had kept the conversation going until... Why? Until why? Okay. No, said Halka. I'm sorry. Do you want me to make the appointment? Zaki walked away, gritting his teeth. He wandered the streets, his head down to avoid all conversations, until he looked up and discovered that he had walked all the way to the wharf. A sweet breeze was blowing along the water, and he took several deep breaths until he felt almost normal. When his temper cooled, he could think again. What if this alphabetical conversation wasn't a delusion at all? What if what he felt wasn't paranoia, but acute awareness? He knew it was the classic dilemma. Am I crazy, or is there really something weird going on? Across the docks was a shop called Paradox. Get it? You know, it's okay. Featuring a display of herbs, crystals, and vapors trapped in orbs. The sign in the window read, "Mystical Consultation, sunrise to noon." It was worth a shot, though Zaki was dubious. The only people who generally came down the wharf for healing were stupid adventurers who didn't know any better. I'm really curious what town this is taking place in. Incense burned in copious billows of pink and gold, obscuring and then revealing the clutter within. Really? Jijik death masks glowered down from the wall. Smoking censers hung by chains from the ceiling, and the floor was a maze of bookshelves. At a well-worn table in the back, a small man wearing a headdress was tabulating a young lady's purchases.
"Okay," said the man, "your total comes to 57 gold pieces. I threw in the restorative scale conditioner for free. Just remember, the candles should be lit only after you invoke Goroflox the Unholy, and Mandrake Root does best in partial shade."
The customer gave a quick, shy smile to Zaki and left the store. "Please help me," said Zaki. "Every conversation I hear or get involved in seems to be arranged alphabetically. I don't know if I'm going insane or if there are some kind of bizarre forces at work. To be honest with you, I'm normally a skeptic when it comes to your type of business, but I'm at the end of my rope. Can you do anything to make this madness end?"
"Oh,
For some reason, I'm imagining the guy as a Bosmer.
quite a common problem, actually," said the man,
Patting Zaki on the arm.
"Well, when you get to the end of the alphabet, do conversations then go to reverse alphabetical order or start at the beginning of the alphabet?"
Reverse alphabetical order?" said Zaki, and then corrected himself. "Damn it, no, wait, I mean, it starts from the beginning all over again. I'm in agony. Can you call on the spirits and tell me I am insane? Or am I insane? Tell me, am I insane? Sorry."
"Sariki," said the man with a reassuring smile. "I don't have to. You're quite sane."
"Oh, thank you," said Zaki, frowning. Frowning. "By the way, my name's Zaki, not Sariki."
"Unusually close, eh?"
said the man, patting Zaki on the back.
"My name's Octoplasm. Follow me, please. I think I have just what you need."
So Octoplasm led Zaki down the narrow corridor behind the desk. The two men pushed past dusty cabinets filled with strange creatures and liquids, past heaps of Neolithic stones, past stack after stack of moldering leather-bound books, into the dank heart of the store. There he picked up a small, squat, cylindrical drum and a book and handed them to Zaki.
"Vampirism, Daedric possession, and Withershins therapy," said Zaki,
squinting his eyes to read the book in the gloom. "What in oblivion does this have to do with me? I'm not a vampire. Look at this tan. And what's Withershins therapy, and how much will it cost me?"
"Withershins from the old Cyrillic
Wither signs? Which means backwards," said Octoplasm in a serious tone.
It's the art of reversing the direction of things in order to gain access to the spirit world, and break curses, cure vampirism, and trigger all manners of apotropaic
healing. I think I might have actually said that one right.
You know the story about the guy who was told that slaughterfish live in hot water, so he said, well, let's boil them in cold water.
Xenophus, said Zaki instinctively, his brother having taken a rather esoteric upper-level course in Cyrillic philosophy as an elective at the Imperial College 31 years before, and immediately wishing he hadn't. "And what do you do with the cylindrical thingy?" Octoplasm lit a candle and held the object over it, so Zaki could see more clearly. All along the cylinder were narrow slits, and when Zaki peered within them, he saw a succession of old black and white drawings of a naked man leaping over boxes, one frame after the next. "You spin it like so," said Octoplasm, slowly whirling the device clockwise so the man within leapt over the boxes over and over again.
"It's called a zoetrope. Pretty neat, eh? Now, you take it and you start spinning it counterclockwise, and while you're doing it, Read this incantation I've marked in the book.
So it's like one of those old, maybe not old. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those animation wheel things. If you've ever seen those, it's like, well, it's like the book described. You know, you have these slots and you spin it, and it's an animation thing. It's kind of like along the same lines as, you know, like an animation flip book type thing. Maybe that's not the right term. Whatever. Zaki took the zoetrope and began spinning. Yeah, he began spinning it counterclockwise over the candle. And so the little naked man within seemed to bound backwards over the boxes. It took a little coordination and concentration to keep whirling at a steady pace, but gradually the man's awkward and jerky backjumps became more and more fluid until Zaki could no longer see the individual frames flipping. It looked just like a little humanoid hamster on an endless reverse treadmill. While he continued to spin the zoetrope with one hand, Zaki took the book in the other and read the underlined passage. Zoetrope counterspin, 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 pull my life from the rut that it's in. I invoke the goddess Boethia, Kinnereth and Adrissus, to invert my potentially metaphysical crisis. My old life may have been rather pointless and plain, but I dislike the prospect of going insane. Make the pattern reverse by this Withershin. Zoetrope, counterspin, counterspin, counterspin. As he chanted the spell, Zaki noticed that the little naked man on the zoetrope began to look more like himself. The mustache vanished and the hairline receded. The man's waistline expanded and the buttocks sagged to the shape and texture of half-inflated balloons. Scales approximating his own Argonian pattern appeared. Argonian pattern. So is he... So, oh yeah, I guess that would... Wait, Zaki. Yeah, that does sound like an Argonian name. Okay. I'm like, all this time I've just been... Okay. Sorry. The man began to trip as he bounded backwards over the boxes, taking bigger breaths and sweating. By the time Zaki reached the end of the incantation, his twin was clutching his chest and tumbling end over the boxes in a free fall. Octoplasm took the zoetrope and the book from Zaki's hands. Nothing seemed to have changed. No thunder had rumbled. No winged serpents had sprung out of Zaki's head. No fiery explosions, but Zaki felt that something was different. Good different. Normal. At the counter when Zaki pulled out his satchel of gold pieces, Octoplasm merely shook his head. Our treatment radical such of effects. Term long the what sure be can't we. Naturally charge no. Feeling the first real relief he had felt in days, Zaki walked backwards out of the shop and down the road to his shop. What? Oh, I think I get it. Maybe? So, our treatment radicals such of effects term long the what sure be can't we naturally charge no. So the phrase, so basically all... So is it trying to say that he no longer has Withershins, or that, you know, that the Mr. Octoplasm now has it, or is this from his perspective now he was normal? Yeah, so was it that like this was normal for him, but then he started seeing like experiencing things like sentences like the way we would, you know, correctly, and that was weird to him. So he then went and got messed up. So he wasn't crazy all along. Now he is. That's my guess. Anyways, that was a really fun read. That's one of those stories that you can sort of think about after. It's got one of those nice little twists on the end. Anyways, that has been Withershins. And this has been the Morrowind Book Club. Until next time, game on.